Greetings students, welcome to Physics Classroom. The topic what we are going to discuss today is the last chapter according to your physics textbook, and it is referred to as communication system. Yes, so actually our journey of physics ends here. So the weightage of this chapter is approximately 2 to 4 marks for your boards as well as for your Maharashtra CET state examination. Okay, so let's understand what is communication system. Well, communication, we have already heard this word a lot of time. In fact, we always communicate, right? So let's start our journey. What is communication? In this module, we will actually see what is communication, how can I define communication, and what are the concepts required in communication. Okay, so let's start. Communication. Okay, so let's analyze what is the importance of communication. Just imagine I am not talking to you, or one of your best friends or your parents is not talking to you the whole day. What do you feel like? Whoa, it would be disastrous, right? Yeah. So can I say if there is no communication for one single day, everything will come to halt, right? So you can realize the importance of communication. So importance of communication, can I say it is actually becoming a basic primary need. Okay, so we have already known from our schooling that the basic primary needs are food, shelter and clothing, but in today's world where we live in technology, communication is also one of the basic primary needs for every human being, right? Okay, why only human being? In fact, we should extend, we can say communication is actually the primary need for all the living things in this world, right? So let's see. Communication. What is communication? Communication is an exchange of information, right? Am I communicating with you right now? Perfect. I am trying to exchange my information with you. Okay? So I am communicating. So for a common man, or for a basic definition for a communication, I can say communication is the basic process of exchanging information. Perfect. So communication is the basic process of exchanging information. Now, when I say exchanging information, it is not mandatory that the information has to be through words. It can be through gestures, it can be through smiles, it can be through waving of hands, right? So exchange of information in human beings can be through feelings, ideas and thoughts. Well, there is a very important quote, or very famous quote, that silence is one of the best way for communication, right? So in this we can understand that only spoken words are not a information or a communication process. Okay, so I can say communication can be verbal, it can be non-verbal. Well, verbal simply means that you are communicating either through spoken words. Non-verbals can be your hand gestures, can be your smiles, your anger. Anger is also a way of communicating, right? It shows that the other person that you are angry. Okay, so this was the basic definition of communication. Now let's see what are we going to write for our examination, or how can I define communication technically. Okay, before that, it is very much understood that in today's world majorly the communication is through spoken words. Fine, so let's see how can I define communication technically. Communication is defined as faithful transfer of information or message signal from one point to another point. Let's halt here. We'll see the basic definition ahead. Let's understand and analyze this. Communication refers to faithful transfer of information or message from one point to another point. Yes, faithful transfer of information. Why faithful transformation? Because if I want to say you hi, it is useless if you don't receive hi, right? So if I want to communicate, I want to communicate you faithfully. That means whatever I want to communicate with you, you should clearly hear that. Right now in a video, if there were some disturbances, you are not able to receive my concepts, or you are not able to receive my audio correctly, that means I can say that you are not doing faithful transfer of information, right? So I can say communication refers to the faithful transformation of information or message signal from one point to another point such that it reaches in an intelligible form. Intelligible means it should make some sense, right? So whatever information you are communicating, it should reaches to the receiver in an intelligible form. Now let's analyze from one point to another point. Can I say we require 2 points for communication? Right now, I am transmitting my information. You people are sincerely receiving my information, right? So transmitting the information is done by transmitter. So that becomes the first point of communication, and receiver of information is done by receiver. So that is the reason communication refers to the faithful transfer of information or message signal from one point to another point where it reaches in an intelligible form. Now, what was the history of communication? How does the communication evolve? We will see in the next module. So please stay tuned. Thank you.